Welcome to another edition of your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the Platform Sports Talk Show.
Right.
She's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions
And millions
of the Platform Sports Talk Show fans on once again your Wednesday Night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
Probably somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say
Don't
straight.
have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't have me tear up. You know I get emotional. But
People watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful, because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the Platform Sports Talk Show or its sponsors.
What is going on, party people? It is your boy Smooth, another edition of your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the Platform Sports Talk Show. It's a pleasure to be back once again. And man, I said this last week, but 2025 has started off pretty different than years past. And want to lift up those who are dealing with the wildfires in California, the snow in all around the South in Florida and Louisiana, Texas, all the southern states who wasn't prepared for a lot of snow like they're getting. Just so prayers up, praying for safety, and hoping y'all tune in right now to your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, because we want to make sure y'all feel real good for these next couple hours as we talk about some sports, because there's been a whole lot of sports to discuss. But just when you think, you know what, maybe it might be not as much something to talk about, then over the span of like the last 24 hours, all of a sudden, boom, here we go. And that's why we have this show. So I need everyone right now to go ahead and like and subscribe. Let all your peoples know about your Wednesday Night Sports Delight. If y'all watching right now, you may be checking us out on Facebook at the Platform Sports Talk Show, maybe on the X at 314 Sports Talk, maybe on IG, the Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. You can also go on YouTube if you're not already. Subscribe and click on that bell so anytime we go live, you will be notified. You can also email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. Y'all know someone who will be an amazing guest to share their story, sports related. Let's get them on. Or also, if y'all have an event, of course, sporting wise, and y'all want some coverage from the Platform Sports Talk Show network, should I say, shoot us an email and we got y'all covered. Also, you can check us out on Hot 365 Radio. They have the app, of course. Go on iOS or Android device. Go to the Play Store and put in Hot 365 Radio. And boom, you're going to see the logo. And you're going to see our beautiful logo as well when you join us live at this time, and also when you catch the replay of our most recent show each Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. They also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/hot365 radio. So you have all kind of different ways to check out your Wednesday night sports delight. You can also check out every first Wednesday of the month, ladies night. Shouts out to Bunny, shouts out to Joe, to the coach who has been gone for quite some time because she's coaching her Clayton High School girls basketball team, Coach Willis. Shouts out to her. Hope that she's doing or continues to do well. Then we have Michelet and Annie as well. Then, of course, the last Wednesday of the month, which means next week, the fellas, it goes down in the man cave, y'all. The man cave where, once again, anything, and I mean anything, can go down. The guys are unfiltered, and they just have a good time discussing sports, man. Really a good time. So a lot of things going on. Then, of course, for the non-sports talk show people, go on YouTube once again. Smooth Conversation, smooth with 3 O's, where the conversations are always smooth. Yours truly be having an amazing conversation with a lot of great people doing a lot of great things locally and globally, just having their stories told. So check that out as well. So there you have it. Got a great show in store. And up first, bringing up the lady from Ladies Night. She's holding things down, of course, from the Boondocks. Jobo, what is happening?
What's up? Happy Wednesday. January feels like it's been going on for a very long time, but we're almost there, guys.
Years.
Yeah, it's been very long. All this cold, and when I tell you, I brought Mia to school on Tuesday, and my hands hurt. That's how cold it was that morning. Oh my gosh! But it was warm today. It was 36 degrees, barbecue weather. So we're better now. We're
I'm
better.
shocked that they still had school yesterday because it was like 1 degree as the high.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, about in between 1 to 4 degrees. It's like you want these kids to be outside waiting on school buses in this kind of weather?
Yeah, Brenda was like, if she had to do anything with the school bus and like wait, she wouldn't be going. I would just keep her at home. But yeah, it was just get there, ran her to the front door, and I ran back to the car because it was bad out there. But yeah, I got little hand warmers because our basement's always cold. Sorry about my nails. Mia did that. But yeah, so I'm so ready for warmer weather, and obviously you guys know warm weather comes with baseball, so I'm excited about all that.
Most definitely. And up next, y'all saw this man give an amazing Emmy Award winning video talking about football last week. And I want to have him on because, you know, it's the playoffs, whether it's from college football and the NFL. This is his time to shine. And he is on the show tonight. Sadal, the selector. What's going on, brother?
Sadal, the selector, the real estate DJ. And this time, I am live coming to you from somewhere in St. Louis and in my new studio digs. And so I'm glad to be back here on the Platform Sports Talk Show. So
that's right. He's back on the main show. Sadal, how are you doing, brother?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. I've been working on this side project. If you've been following me, I've been working on this for about 2.5 years, but we're down to a mere couple of days away from me to debut when I'm going to debut. And I'm just going to debut and not say anything and let y'all find out about it. So you best to follow me on them internets and don't miss it.
There it is. So, for those who may be watching for the first time, this show has been going on consistently every Wednesday for the last 7 years, about to be 8 years in April. And this man has been part of this show since day one. I had the vision of the show, and we talked about it in Legacy Books and Cafe. Now it's I think it's Legacy Books now, but and he been riding with me, and we're here now. And he's also part of the Smoooth Production family as well, along with Steve Jenks. So shouts out to Steve Jenks as well. So just personally, as I always tell you, brother, I appreciate you and I thank you. And also to Jobo, who's been a part of the family for about 4.5, almost 5 years. No, I want to say maybe it has been 5 years, but it's been 4 years doing ladies' night. So thank y'all both for continuing to ride with me and y'all family. So I appreciate y'all both.
Yeah, thanks for still having us.
Man, you know I'm gonna be here. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So let's go ahead and get down to it. Because as I said before, sports has been going on. It's been doing this thing, a lot of different things to discuss. So we got to get right into, you now have my attention. What sports story or stories has your attention? And we got word, Sadal, during the pre-show that Jobo has like a 5-page letter because she was ready to just let some stuff out. So
not to be confused with a 4-page letter by Aaliyah.
Exactly. Rest in peace. But Jobo, it's your show. Let's go.
Okay, well, it's just a notepad, okay? But I'm not going to read it word for word. I just had to write some stuff down. We'll see if Smooth was right on what he thought I think I know what you think I was going to say. But, all right. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Is that what you think? Okay. All right. Now, I'm not going to be like those people that are on social media that are like, they're ruining the game of baseball. I don't know if they're ruining the game of baseball. Do I think there might be a strike next CBA? Probably. There probably could be. But I'm just tired of the media and players just sticking up for them, like Joe Kelly. Hi, Miss Dub. Joe Kelly was on a podcast. It's called Baseball Isn't Boring, and he's trying to make a point about it, saying that every team could do what the Dodgers are doing, which I think to an extent every team could do what the Dodgers are doing, but not everyone. But he pretty much he was trying to like break it down to like if every team has $10 for an example, and then he's like if the Minnesota Twins or the Milwaukee Brewers, and he named another Midwest team, offered those $10 to Shohei Ohtani, but then the Dodgers also offered those $10, he's obviously going to choose the Dodgers because of landscape. Well, you can't blame the Midwest team for trying. There's Midwest teams trying. The Blue Jays have been trying for 3 years now to try to get all these top free agents, but no one wants to go up there. And then he's just saying that like now out of nowhere the Dodgers are winning, so that's why free agents want to go there. No, the Dodgers have been a pretty consistent winning club for the last 10 plus years, at least until 2012, 2013, as far back as I can remember. They've won how many divisions in a row? With the exception, I think 21. I think the Giants won by 1 game. But they're consistently the division winner. And you're gonna sit there and say that other teams aren't trying, and now teams want to go to LA because they're winning. No, that's I don't even know how to fight back what Joe Kelly was saying, because I think he sounded idiotic. And my best example that I could come up with is I had asked Brendan, 2014 I think is the year that the Cubs signed John Lester. 2014 and all the years before, we know that the Cubs were not good. But they sold him on the history. They sold him on all the prospects that they have. They didn't win the year he came. They didn't win the year that the next year. Took 3 years for that to happen. And that was a Midwest team. He was one of the best pitchers in baseball at the time. He was an ace. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. I know, Smooth, you'll probably say teams could do that, which I agree. Teams can do this. But I just don't think you can sit there and fault the team like the Blue Jays, for an example, that have been the runner-up for all these big free agents, and say they're not trying because these teams are just choosing to live in LA because it's nice weather all the time. That's what it is, so that now that's like what are we supposed to do in St. Louis when it's 2 degrees on some months, and we offer the same amount of money? So you're gonna fault the team for trying, but hey, we live in a bad area, so no, don't want to go there. I just don't like what Joe Kelly said. It rubbed me the wrong way because, dude, you played for the White Sox. You signed a free agent contract with the White Sox. You did that. Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. It's all annoying. Maybe they ruined baseball, maybe they didn't, but I just think it's been getting too much attention as it has my attention.
Yeah, it's definitely been a hot topic in regards to especially this offseason, especially and also with these deferred contracts that the Dodgers are doing. So I'm not gonna fault other teams like Joe Kelly is doing. The thing is that what I will say is that the Dodgers are doing things just differently than everyone else, and they're taking a risk. They're being more bold with their decision making. This is something that you have really, in my time, I can recall seeing a process that the Dodgers have been doing, especially with this deferred money situation. And like you said, in regards to the league stoppage, which the CBA is going to have to go down again, and they're going to have to discuss a possible salary cap.
I don't even know if a cap is the way to go. Maybe a floor.
Or floors. So something is going to be addressed to try to stop the Dodgers from what they're doing. And my thing is that I have no problem with what they're doing because they found a way that's suitable for them to get players. And that's all that a fan base wants is for you to find ways to get players, and they're doing it better than everyone else.
And I think that's fine. It's just I just don't like that every media outlet, and it's literally everyone, writers, big name places like Fox or major league players are saying, don't blame the Dodgers, blame the teams that aren't spending. Well, you got other teams offering the same amount of money, sometimes even more money than the Dodgers, but they're still choosing to go to the Dodgers, so you can't fault teams if they are actually trying.
And I mean, and truthfully, you being the free agent and you're seeing how the Dodgers are working, you're seeing how front office is doing this, you're seeing how they're bringing in these guys. If you are a free agent and you see the option to go to LA to play with the Dodgers, more than likely you're going to choose that option unless they just don't have a spot for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the way that the Dodgers are holding things down and how they're handling their business, I can't fault them. Of course, media is going to say this. This person going to say that. That's just how the world is. It doesn't guarantee that they're going to win the next 6 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, shoot, we've seen it before that the D-backs 2 years ago, you know, they had a good team, but it probably wasn't the best team on paper, and they destroyed the Dodgers in the division series. And that's what I keep seeing is like, let the Dodgers have the best record of baseball all year, but their first big series is going to be the division series because those 5 games, anything can happen. And
they almost lost last year.
Yeah, and then also like another thing that I think Kevin Wheeler brought up is why are pitchers who sign with the Dodgers? Yeah, you're bound to get a little bit better when you go there as a pitcher because their pitching lab's great. But how many pitchers that have gone to the Dodgers were hurt immediately?
Right.
Like, so pitchers are still, you know, brought into that and they like it or whatever, but I don't know. I just think it's crazy that free agent pitchers keep signing there, knowing they're probably going to get Tommy John or have a shoulder injury or something. But I don't know. Again, like you said, Dodgers doing something right. The guys are, you know, free agents. They want to win. I do think other teams can win too, because you know there's like what 12 teams in the playoffs now, so there's that many teams that have a chance. And on any given day, Blake Snell or Tyler Glasnow could have a really bad day on the bump, and Mookie Betts can go over 4. You know what I'm saying? So like, still got to play the games. But I don't know. We'll see. I just don't think you could fault other teams as much as other people are doing, and I just don't. I don't think other teams, even if they offer deferrals like them, they're still not going to take it. They're still going to take the Dodgers because every team could do it. But I mean, if the Dodgers are going to do it too, then they're going to go to the Dodgers.
Yeah. But like I said, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to win every World Series. It's just going to be competitive, in which you need that. Of course, you want to have more parity. We want to have more of a competitive balance. But at the end of the day, how great would that story be if you are the team that took down the so-called best team in all of baseball? Like, look at the Cavaliers when they beat the best team in the regular season ever, Golden State. Everyone had Golden State winning the whole thing. Of course, you had well, this even was before Durant, but still, they had the best record, beat the Bulls record and everything, and you thought, oh, they're gonna coast through and win the whole thing. So that just for me makes the sport even that much greater because the story. That's what people love the most about sports is the story behind it. So have that be motivation on be that team that's gonna rewrite history and say we were the team that beat the best roster probably ever invented.
That might have been what they were saying on the Gas House game. That's the KMOX radio show that like Bernie and Wheeler and them do. Ackerman's on there, which I'd like to get him on here again. But they're saying, I guess it's more motivation for every all of the 29 teams that have to play them because everyone's just expecting you to go there and lose. Or them come here and you lose. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do get nervous because I know with the last CBA, it wasn't that long. It really wasn't that long. It just felt like forever. I do think this next one might be like if there is a stoppage, it might be a little bit. So we'll see. That's not for like 2 more years, I think. So we got some time.
But it reminds me of like The Last Dance when Jordan, he just found any kind of way to be motivated. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I hope these players are doing for themselves. It's like, okay, well, the doctors feel like they can be better than me or be better than my team. That should be the personal motivation that I need to even up my game and let them know that, hey, y'all missed out on me or this team is better. So take that motivation and let's see some competitive baseball. That's what the world want to see. Before I continue on, I believe she is ready. She's in the kitchen. She probably mixing, doing a hot mix right now while cooking, while pouring some Kool-Aid, while telling her kids to calm down. She's ready to go, rocking the hoodie, holding things down. The host of Ladies Night, Bunny, what's happening? And
it never fails. She's talking still.
You're still on mute, Bunny.
There you go. Happy hump day, y'all. Crooked glasses, crooked screen, crooked everything. Oh, what up? What's today? Wednesday. It was 30 degrees, so we on a little heat streak in the area.
Pool party.
36 degrees.
Only a third through winter.
Don't say it like that. That depresses me. I am pregnant over here, okay?
Only a third through winter, y'all. We're not even halfway done.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to get that list. Bravo, your little list you showed, I said, oh, her hormones is really kicking in. This girl has a whole rant ready to go. I love it.
Yeah, I had a whole list of things. And before someone
the new
else
baby comes, baby, listen. We're gonna miss you.
No, I'm ready for that.
No, I'm sorry. My internet connection keeps going in and out.
No, I was just gonna say before someone else does their, you have my attention. Is she super behind right now?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say is
I just said my internet is in and out.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. So, Bunny, you might have to reconnect because you like maybe 10 seconds behind us.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now go ahead, Joe.
Now I was just gonna say is this little rant's not only because of Sasaki, because that's another thing I could talk about. It's also since they signed Sasaki, they signed Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates.
Yes.
So they're not stopping anytime soon. As for the Sasaki stuff, though, I don't know, man. I will say that stuff's sketchy of how this keeps happening, but I agree. I've been listening to a lot of Gas House game. Kevin Wheeler, I agreed with him again. These international players, it needs to be a draft. It needs to be a draft to where everyone has a chance to get these players because, again, Japan. Oh, Otani's there and Yamamoto's there. They just won the World Series. They have a good connection with Japan. All right, I'm going to Japan. You know, like I don't think it. I mean, Japan. I'm going to the Dodgers. I don't think it surprised anyone that Sasaki ended up with the Dodgers. It was no shock whatsoever. It needs to be just like the MLB draft. If you want to come and play in the major leagues, you're going to get drafted, not just, oh, hey, I want to just sign you for some money. So I think that should be switched as well. Maybe that'll be a topic of discussion during the next CBA.
So, Sadal, what has your attention?
You know, there was a lot of rumors around Deion Sanders and what he's going to do, you know, as far as making the leap in the NFL. But there was one rumor that had my attention or surrounding Deion Sanders and his team with Colorado. So there is one source that says that there may be another Hall of Famer joining the coaching staff at Deion at Colorado. That man is one Marshall Faulk. Yes, Marshall Faulk is rumored to take the reins as the running backs coach in Colorado. They're talking to him and seeing if he wants to take that leap and coach in Colorado. If he does decide to do that, man, that knowledge base for that team is going to be outstanding. You're talking about Hall of Fame players, long-time coaches in the NFL on that staff already. You know, Pat Schumer. You have Warren Sapp already there coaching defensive lineman there. If they can get Marshall Faulk on that staff, it'll be great for that team to have that knowledge in that coach's room. Marshall Faulk was really skilled at what he did at running back, but one of his biggest attributes was his mind, was his football knowledge. Like he knew everybody's position on the field and what the defense is going to throw at him. That's what made him so good at what he did as a football player. And if you can bring that knowledge to Deion Sanders' staff, that would be tremendous. Marshall Faulk has known Deion Sanders for many years, you know, with his time with the NFL Network. So it makes sense for him to be on that staff. I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but I think it'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, I agree. To have the great Marshall Faulk, to get knowledge from him, my God, that would be amazing. And we already saw the strides that the defense had last year by having Warren Sapp part of the D line on Colorado. So to have someone like Marshall Faulk, that would be an amazing addition to the team. With that being said, I do want to ask you, do you feel that Deion will have an even greater year as a coach because now he's not coaching his sons anymore?
Well, to be honest, I really thought of Deion as one of those coaches who are like more so motivators. You know, he leans on his staff and he relies on his staff to specialize in what he does. You know, as far as coaching. So if there's a offense, he lets Pat Schumer do his thing. The defensive coordinator lets him do his thing. He just kind of brings it all together and motivates and be that leader and that mentor for the kids there. Now he's going to lose a lot of key players,
right?
You know, Shador and Hunter is all going to the NFL, and you know those are big shoes to fill. He does have one of the number one recruits at quarterback coming in, so we'll see. I doubted him last year. I thought he was going to win 7 games. he ended up winning 9 games. So, and a lot of other people doubted him as well. So I wouldn't doubt him. I'll be rooting for him, and I think he would still have a great chance in the Big 12. You just got to keep improving, keep on bringing those recruits in, and it's only going to be up from here. I don't see them digressing at all, not too much.
All right, Bunny, what has your attention?
What? I'm not on mute? Shut the front door. I came right on it. Joe, aren't you proud of me? My attention.
Very.
Football. Surprisingly, Josh McDaniels going back to the Patriots. Did not see that on the sports bingo coaching card in 2025. Did y'all see that? Because I didn't.
I can see that because they're bringing in Mike Vrabel as her head coach. That's the former players and coaches for the Patriots of the past. I can see that. I've definitely seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So then, was it a waiting to see why they didn't do this when Belichick and the Patriots parted ways? Why didn't they do this right away? Was it a wait and see? Let's see, we don't need them, or they was on the contract. They didn't want, coaches to be on the contract.
There was rumors that there was some tension with Bill Belichick and some of the members of his coaching staff, and Tom Brady is one of the reasons why Tom Brady left. That may.
That's why I'm just saying. So once Belichick and them parted ways, why not get Vrabel right away? Like, was he under contract? He didn't want to. Did they try? He was like, not this time. That's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't they just do that transition right away, where the Patriots wouldn't have to suck like really fast after that Brady Belichick divorce?
They did. They made an eternal move by wanting to have Gerard Mayo take over the team. He was already part of the organization, and they had high hopes of him being able to take over because he was a Bill Belichick disciple as a player as well. So they wanted him being in his coaching staff, should I say. So they thought that it would be a great transition to have Gerard Mayo be the head coach of the Patriots. Then we all saw how this past season didn't go as planned. And then look who came available this offseason, and that was Mike Vrabel. So they had the opportunity, and they took it. Kind of like the Blues.
Montgomery, when they came available, swoop them on up. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was the plan. It wasn't like it was planned 2 years ago. Oh, we want to get Mike Vrabel in 2 years. They was hoping that Gerard Mayo would be the guy, but there's been some stuff behind the scenes that has been coming out about his coaching methods and how he treats guys or how he is after the games, and just wasn't sounding so good. And when they found out that Vrabel would be an option, okay, let's go ahead and bring him in. So this is where we are now.
All right.
And we've had some success in Tennessee as well. So
I don't know how often it happens going from the pros, college, back to the pros where you're not chased out, such as Pete Carroll when he went from what's that team to the USC and back to the Seahawks. Who else has done that? Johnson, I think, way back. Johnson from the Cowboys. Was he one of those college pros?
Jimmy Johnson from Miami Cowboys.
Yeah, when he do that too. So I was doing it again when they do the back and forth from college and pros. I'm like, is it you just want to get another try? You getting chased out? You tired of the collegiate stuff with academics? We know that's a joke now. Or is he tired of the egos and the pros? Let me go back. Because when McDaniels first went to the college, I'm like, you can get a job in any NFL team as a coordinator. Let me specify. So unless you just want to be head coach, maybe it's faster to do it with Tennessee. But everybody else is track. Actually, before Tennessee, wasn't he at Central Florida, another Florida team? It wasn't like a big Power 5 team, and that's what I think caught me off guard with that move, going from NFL to like a non-Power 5 school. But anyway, that had my attention though. I was not expecting to see that. But you said it should have been obvious with Vrabel, but I guess.
So for me, I did have a set, should I say, what had my attention. It was going to be the Missouri Tigers because I bought them up last week, and as of this past Monday, they are now ranked in the top 25. They're number 22. So my plan was to brag about them, but then last night happened, and they lost at Texas, and they look bad. I mean, they look terrible, but they didn't score the way that they usually score. They average like 80 some points a game, and they had like 57 points, and it was just a bad night overall. Doesn't mean they in a top 25 team, but I was just hoping that once you get that ranking, that all of a sudden you kind of get like that new dad strength and just come on and let's show the world what we got. And last night they didn't do that. So I'm disappointed, but I'm still proud because they are a March Madness team. But keeping on baseball, Jobo, congratulations on order to the new Hall of Fame players, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, and Billy Wagner. And when I saw this list, just like the last maybe 5 years now, but it's like, man, we getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
These players,
Yeah,
man. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like we saw these guys in their prime, and now they Hall of Famers. I'm like, this is crazy. Now,
when all three guys came into the league, I remember all three of them came into the league. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, what's crazier is that there's one particular voter that felt that Ichiro Suzuki was not a Hall of Famer.
I still wonder who that person is. Do you know? Are they gonna leak that information out?
I don't know.
The same person that was the only person that didn't vote Ken Griffey Jr. in first ballot.
Man, when I say that's just terrible, and they have to find a way to revamp that whole process, because that's just terrible that you, for your personal reasons, didn't think that Ichiro was a Hall of Famer. What has he not done? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like Sadal, if it was the same voter, MLB should have stepped in by now, possibly, you know, but I don't know. Like I just like, what is it that they're looking at? Are they just like, hey, I wanted to try to keep this person on the ballot for one more year, so they needed that extra percentage, or do they believe that they don't believe that anyone should be unanimous? I mean, Mariano Rivera was, which there's been some weird shit coming out about him lately, but yeah.
So the rumor has it, this voter, his personal rule is he doesn't vote anybody first ballot. He believes there's going to be a
shouldn't be voter anymore.
Exactly. Players. That's
sound like somebody that's old and should probably be damn near at a retirement home or in a retirement home who's thinking like that. I mean, that's the case. You're gonna say Babe Ruth and her class and Ted Williams should have been first ballot either.
Yeah, it's crazy. And at this point, there has not been one position player to be voted unanimously. Now, with that being said, Pujols is on the way in the next maybe 2 years. Do you see him being the first position player to be voted unanimously as a Hall of Famer?
If that same voter, that Roger that didn't vote for Ichiro there, then he ain't gonna get first ballot unanimous.
Yeah, like if that's a legit rumor, like that's legit, then no. But I mean, he should be just like Ichiro and
every category, y'all checks all the boxes, right? What didn't Pujols do? All right. At least look at the Cardinals Pujols. You want to go by the Angels Pujols? Okay, tell the two Pujolses. But the Cardinals Pujols, what didn't he do?
He's on a very short list of players to have 3,000 hits, along with 700 plus home runs, and not to mention, I think he's got a singular Gold Glove, possibly, and a couple World Series, and like 3 or 4 MVPs. So I mean, like,
Gold Gloves,
huh?
Multiple Gold Gloves.
Is it multiple? Okay, I knew back in the day, like, you know, he wasn't a fast runner, but he was smart and he knew when to swipe a bag, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, there's no reason that he shouldn't be. But if that's true that, a guy just doesn't want to vote someone because they don't believe they should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, then yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, that person needs to be taken out to the woodshed.
I was thinking the same thing, Smooth, for real. When I saw that said only one person didn't vote, I said, what a-hole is this? They got to leak that information. Come on.
I saw this with Ken Griffey Jr., and it was like unbelievable. Like, why? It's Junior Griffey. Come on, man.
What's crazy is if you look at like Ichiro's Japan numbers, the dude has like 5,000 hits and like well over 3,000 hits in his playing career.
Ichiro has records that basically baseball records, like all time, not just Major League Baseball, but baseball period. Like combined with all of the leagues in the world of baseball, Ichiro has many of those records in batting. So, I mean, somebody like that, if this is the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, he is the epitome of the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, and he doesn't get.
Yeah, and I always think of, I don't know if we've said it here before, like Brennan has, or if he's heard it somewhere else, but try to think of a specific timeline of baseball. If that guy comes to mind, he's probably a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he did so much for the game. He was plastered all over the place. So, like, Yachty's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but the guy should be a Hall of Famer because for about a 15-year span, he was the best catcher in baseball. That when you thought of who's the best catcher in the game, not just not just Cardinals fans, but everyone who followed baseball thought of Yadier Molina. So Ichiro, back in the early 2000s and with those Mariners teams, I hate watching him with the Yankees, and it was weird seeing him with the Marlins. But you think of that guy, he did so much for the game, and but whatever. Congratulations, he's in the Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner, you made it on your last year on the ballot. That was awesome. He should have been on there long before that. And then CC Sabathia, one of the last pitchers to probably have 3,000 strikeouts, with the exception, I think, Verlander and Max might be able to do it or whatever. But just that's a good core group right there. And if you look at next year's ballot, I don't think anyone's getting on there because it ain't that great.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
What's next year's look like besides Pujols?
No, Pujols isn't on it yet.
He ain't on there. No, it's like Brian Bryan and Edwin Encarnacion and Cole Hamels. I don't see no one getting in next year.
They were good players, not great players.
Yeah. They good, but no, I don't see it.
And if other PED users ain't getting in, Ryan Braun's not getting in. So,
right. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and transition to college football because football is better played when, Sadal?
In college.
So congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes as they defeated Notre Dame. First half, it was like, okay, we letting y'all know who we are. Ohio State, we that deal. Second half, more so fourth quarter, Notre Dame had to come back. And I'm like, wait a minute. We got a game. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let's go. Now, to me, I feel that Bundy's favorite good-looking head coach in college football
put that on me.
For Notre Dame, what's the name of Marcus Robinson?
Of course, it's Marcus Freeman. You know better. Mm-hmm.
He had a choice. In the fourth quarter, they were down by 16, and they were like at the maybe 15, 20-yard line, and it was fourth down. And instead of going for it, they went field goal and boink off the field goal post. And you saw him dejected as soon as that happened, because he had in his mind, especially it was like maybe what 6 minutes to go left in the game. So I felt that he made a bad coaching decision by allowing that field goal to happen because you needed 2 scores anyway. So you might go ahead and go for it, you know what I'm saying, for the touchdown because you got to have 2 scores anyway. And I feel like after that moment, you know, the field goal boink, granted, they still came back. They were down, but they just didn't have enough time, and it was a wrap. But Notre Dame in the second half showed that they did belong in the game. At first, it was like, okay, they don't belong. Second half, they showed, okay, they do belong, but it was a little small mistake that Coach Freeman did by not going for it on 4th down. But overall, I thought it was a good game. Sadal, your thoughts?
Yeah, the game I thought was going to go a lot differently. That opening drive by Notre Dame, I think that was the best opening drive of a championship game I've ever seen. I mean, kid was making plays. I forget his name, quarterback for Notre Dame, but he was making play after play. You could tell he was gassed.
Yes, he was.
He was tired, but he just pulled it out and got in the end zone and ran it himself. And I tell you what, I thought it was going to go differently, but then Ohio State showed why they were Ohio State, and they was playing on a mission. Now, like you said, 4th quarter they came back. They came back in the 4th quarter, and this is a classic case of the coach not going with his first mind. You could tell that he had made the second choice. His first choice, you had the momentum, and you had the ball at a critical point of the game. You seen how your quarterback made those plays in the first quarter. You seen that they was making plays in that 4th quarter. You should have went with the momentum and went for it. They've had kicking problems the whole season. I think that's like their 3rd or 4th kicker of the season. And so you knew that was the case, but you tried to do some algebra and with the scoring and say, oh no, we're just gonna play it safe. No. When it's championship time, you go with the ones who brought you there. You go with the person that got you there all throughout the season, all throughout the playoffs, and through that game. You should have put it in the hands of your quarterback and have him make a play. You live or die with that. But your kicker, I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't put all the pressure on the kicker. The fourth string kicker, whoever he was. I'll put it in the hands of the quarterback. But that was their one critical mistake, and it cost them because that Ohio State team didn't give you any room for error. I mean, they clearly, the Smith, that wide receiver, he's different, man. He is different. He's gonna be one to see in the next couple years in this draft. He's gonna be one of the top wide receiver, not only in college football but possibly in the NFL if he keeps this up.
Oh yeah.
When he made that play, that dagger, when Howard threw that ball up, threw it like 50, 60 yards and threw a pin drop to Smith. Oh, it was over. It was over. Put it in their best players' hands. And you see what happened when you put the ball in the best player's hands. He made a play. And that's what happened. That's why Ohio State's the champs.
Yeah. And that quarterback from Notre Dame is Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard. Yeah. He came from Duke. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Bo, did you get a chance to watch the game?
I didn't watch it. I saw the first half. I know Brendan was saying kind of like what you were saying, Sadal, about the first drive of the game. It took up like 10 minutes of the 10 minutes of the first quarter, which is insane. And then by the time I was laying down, I saw that deep pass by Ohio, and we're like, all right, that's it. And we were watching Big Bang Theory, so we went to Big Bang Theory after that. But I mean, it's what we all said last week. Kind of what Notre Dame, except for you, Smooth. I think you said Notre Dame was going to win. But we all kind of wanted Notre Dame to win, but knew in the back of our minds, like, Ohio State's probably going to win this game.
Yep.
Bunny, your thoughts?
No, I didn't get to see the game, but I did see the highlights. But what I was going to say with not necessarily football, but in general, when you got a game close on the line, then you should play to win, not necessarily the tie, but like y'all say, he was trying to be conservative doing a field goal in the fourth quarter when it had a momentum. If they would have went for it and lost like the possession and convert, not a problem. Everybody like, well, hey, you have to. You need more points in the time going against you. So I hope and pray, but I can foresee Notre Dame getting back. Maybe not. What is the bowl next year? Not going to be the Orange Bowl. It's going to be another bowl, but championship game. I can see them, if they bring their nucleus back, I'll see them return. If not, yeah. But I will say, Ohio State does what Ohio State does. That's why I picked them to win. Now, Ryan Day, unfortunately, he was there last year, lost, but I can't take away from the coach. You definitely learn from the mistake, and it was a different Michigan team, last year, but you can't doubt when somebody's been there before. And again, the school is built on getting championships in football. It was ineligible for them to find a way to win. They did, they proved that's why they are, was it 10 or 11 time national champions? They just live up to it. It's definitely top tier football school. And they try to do it in basketball lately, but I don't want to give them that much credit.
Well, you know what? It is so tough in college football, especially in this time of parity and there's no dominant teams in college football. It's so tough to get back to that national championship game. You don't know when or if you will go back. It might be his only time.
Nucleus, I can, even with NIL deals, people use transfer portal left and right. But the fact that man, they has a winning team in the championship, and Notre Dame on the other side lost. There's recruits that's looking like, hey, I know I can go there to give them what they need, that win. We know Freeman's a good coach, just to get them that far, especially. So they may not return next year, but they'll still be in the playoff. I can see that as long as that nucleus is there. But
they'll be in the playoffs. But I think we were so spoiled with Nick Saban as the coach, and Nick Saban
is the coach. But if Nick Saban still would have stayed in football now, Alabama would not have been in the championship game. Again, you just said the parity. We all know what we all know what NIL is doing and the transfer portal is doing. He didn't have to deal with that thing, hence why he left. Hence why a couple other coaches are not in the game. They're like, I ain't dealing with that crap. Because that changes stuff. So
if
it was the old way.
It's tough to get back when you have so much parity.
Yeah, but I don't know. If Nick Saban was still coaching now, with how college football is, Bama still would not, to me, be in not just a championship game. Would they be in the college playoffs? Maybe, but they definitely wouldn't be in the championship game. Why? They're not dominant with all the players. We know how, even when they were dominant, they didn't win the bowls. If they won one year, they lost the next year or close in. Another year, they're back. They always guarantee you every 4 years, you're going to have at least 2 games with Bama in there. We know those days are gone. I mean, it's gotten a little balance to me out of the SEC. We know the Big Ten was just as competitive in football, but I'm saying the coaches are there, but you got to have the players. Again, all the players are not running to Alabama anymore. Want to get that scholarship call now. We know it's different. So Saban spoiled us to an extent, but I had an issue with it anyway. But here, that's another day. I'm happy it's somebody different. Now, Ohio State, of course, is running it now. They're probably going to win it in the next 3 years. I can see Ohio State winning another. But I can see Notre Dame being there too.
So with that
being there this year, it'd be another set of teams.
So with that being said, because last year Michigan won the Natty, and the other day Ohio State won the Natty. The $1 million question is, does that mean that the Big Ten Conference is now the conference in all of college football, and the SEC has been taken down a notch.
Well, I'll say this before I get into that. Michigan won last year in a national championship game. Where was Michigan this year?
Oh, Michigan wasn't even close, but they had that scandal. Harbaugh hurried up and left. They had that.
My point is, just because you win this year doesn't mean that it's a lock for you to get in next year.
It is, but you also look at if they didn't have a coaching change, they may not be in a championship, but it's still been competitive. Y'all know what that Harbaugh running, some recruits left, it changed stuff. They're the same coordinators, and now they got the new head. That makes a difference. Come on, Sadal. Your coaching staff makes a difference. You still got young men still learning, and just they got a new person they weren't planning on coaching on.
Well, the coach they have coached some of those games that year because Harbaugh was
some of them games. It's only like 3 games, but fine. All right, whatever. Look at the competition. My point is,
he won the
last. You still have to change one whole season at all right. Fine. You say
I'm telling you, it's not guaranteed.
Guaranteed, but all I'm saying, Michigan probably would have been in the playoffs. They didn't even get barely 500. Again, the schedule made a difference. If we were talking about if Harbaugh was still there, we would have a different conversation, and we would. It's not. I didn't say if we win it all. I said they would be in the playoffs. There's a difference. All right. Just like I'm saying, Ohio State will be in the playoff next year. Will they win it all? Who knows? It's hard to have 2P, let alone a 3P. Ask the Chiefs. But all I'm saying, it made a difference with Harbaugh not being there. Now, going back to what Smoooth said, does it say the Big Ten is now dominant? SEC has come down a notch? Maybe not. Because again, we had to reshuffle these conferences. The SEC has a couple more teams now. You did have a top 5 team with Texas. They got added to the SEC mix. Now, will you say bring it down a notch? I won't give it that yet. All because the last 2, 3, whatever Big Ten teams that won is not negating the SEC. They just probably think about how the top 10 went all football season. We had SEC teams there. And then in the last, they dropped off some. But again, we can say that technically Oregon was number 1 all season until when they got the playoff and got their asses whooped. Okay. Oregon, okay, you want to call it Big Ten, but they're a Pac-12 school. I'm just looking at it, SEC falling off a notch. I won't call it that way yet. We'll see. Give it a couple more years when we finally got this balance out of all these new teams, new schools, and all that, and then see the style of play. But I won't say that just yet.
Yeah, I would tend to agree because just like you said, the teams that were dominant in the Big Ten were mainly some of the teams that wasn't the blue blood Big Ten traditional teams in there. They were the new teams that came in there. So, and it's just 1 year. Time will tell. Time will tell the tale of who is the better conference, but you can't determine that after one season. Not especially not with this season where anybody could have been number 1. I forgot how many teams were number 1 this year. Usually there's usually like 1, maybe 2 teams that's shuffling between 1 and 2. We had a whole bunch of teams at number 1. So I wouldn't say that. SEC team still has that reputation. You name off the teams, they still got the reputation, and we have to see. And especially with this, the days of the portal is here. You can't stockpile team. You can't stockpile players like you used to. You can go to, if you're not starting at this team, you can go to the next team for the next year. So who knows?
All right. Well, that was our college football segment. Once again, congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes for winning the Natty. Now, NFL playoff divisional round, and been quite a few themes going on from this past weekend. One has been critical mistakes, errors. Another one has been very questionable refereeing officials missed calls, stuff like that. And we're gonna break it down. Let's get into the first game on Saturday, which was, here we go, probably the most talked about. The Houston Texans, sorry, Jobo, lost against the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the refs.
There we go. So, of course, everyone is talking about the Mahomes and the referee has got a friendship going on, a love thing going on. He's getting ready to call the whole nine. I know that you'll break it down even more, Sadal, but I will say this. Yes, there were some questionable calls. It shouldn't have been some calls that should not have been made, but I'm going to say that did not cost the Texans to lose that game. And I'm going to say the moment, and I told my wife that because we watched the game, the moment when the Texans scored that touchdown and they were down by 1 and they missed that field goal, that extra point, that changed the whole dynamic of the game. And me, I'm real big on momentum. I'm real big on the mental side of the game. And you even saw the replay. When they showed that kicker missing that field goal, and then he went right to the sideline, this was after the Texans scored a touchdown. Like, they were amped up. They were like, oh, yeah, here we go. This is a moment. And then the kicker, boink, the whole sideline was dejected as if they lost 7 points. And then after that, that's when the questionable call happened with Mahomes and the two guys bumping into each other when it should have been no penalty call at all, but it was. But it was the domino effect. So, yes, the refs did make some questionable calls or non-calls, but do I feel like that was the reason why the Texans lost that game? No, it was not. Sadal, you can go ahead.
Can I say something before Sadal talks real quick?
Go ahead.
I just hope the Bills win for multiple reasons, but mainly because I don't know how many more AI photos of Mahomes kissing a referee I could take on social media. Okay, I'm tired of seeing that. That's gross, y'all. All right, stop it.
You go ahead, Sadal.
Yeah. So I would agree that was a critical moment when the Houston Texans kicker missed the extra point. However, there was some moments in that game where CJ Stroud had the team driving them up the field, and then all of a sudden, holding call. And then they go up again. They make their way up the field again. Then the ref holding call. It was like if you look at the calls against Kansas City Chiefs and the calls against Houston, it was well lopsided. Well lopsided. And those calls happened when Houston was gaining a little bit of momentum, especially on the defensive side. They corner Patrick Mahomes. They finally get him. And they call roughing the passer when the two players bump heads. They don't even touch them. And they two players bump heads. They damn near knock each other out. And they get called for the it was, it's a culmination of things. I would say it wasn't just one missed kick. It was big, but it was a lot of moments where they could have overcome that if it wasn't for the refs making silly ass calls and stopping their momentum. But hey, what can you say? They won. Chiefs won.
And no one's shocked by it, okay? No one's shocked that the Chiefs won. It's because they're a good team. No one's going to deny that. What's shocking is how often they get away with stuff like that, because it's not even just postseason games, it's regular season games. And I don't know. And I don't want to hear people say that, like, I've seen so many tweets or X or whatever you want to call it of the Texans talking about it, saying, "Oh, I've never seen a grown man cry." Mahomes was crying to Josh Allen in the middle of his home field whenever the Bills went there and beat them this year. He was crying about the, whatever play, offsides or something.
Yeah, there was a play.
So Mahomes does it too. Mahomes does it too. It's just everyone is riding their you-know-what so hard right now. Sorry, there's a little girl right there. And we're on YouTube, so. But but it's just, I don't know. I hope. Oh my gosh, I want the Bills. My neighbor thinks it's the Bills' time this time, finally, hopefully. So I hope that's the case, and we don't have to see the Chiefs. Where's it at this year? New Orleans or wherever it's at.
No.
All right. So hopefully, we don't got to see them there in a couple of weeks because nothing's going to ruin my day regardless. I'm going to get some new Superman footage on TV, but I just don't want to see the Chiefs there again. So let's go Bills.
Joe Ball, I hate to say, let's hope the curse is broken because remember in the 90s, the Bills went to the Super Bowl not once, not twice, not thrice, 4 times and took a L every single time.
Well, it's not the Super Bowl this time. I don't care if they lose at the Super Bowl. I just want them to beat the Chiefs.
I know, but I'm saying, hold on, baby. But I'm just, hey, we had our interview on Ladies' Night with Xavier's mom, and so I was looking for her to see if I could see her in the stands or anything. I didn't see her. Did you see her? Because I did.
I see her.
Okay, but I was like, okay, I told her I would root for them, even though I wanted the Ravens. Well, I know my team is out, but I was like, okay, so I'll still keep them for the Chiefs, or Joe will say let the Bills finally get their time. I don't know. It's gonna be a
I told her that night I'm rooting against the Chiefs, so whatever. But I'm not gonna fake a fandom just because we have someone on the show.
I was going both ways because, like, in reality, I took a ride with the Ravens all season, and I got disappointed. But we'll get to that topic when Smoooth is ready. But anyway.
So the next game, and yes, Miss Dub, the refs get rated after every game. It's always a grade. It's just a matter of what they do after that.
Yeah, but the NFL ends up fining players for speaking their mind, but they don't do anything about their refs. Because Joe Mixon got fined twice since that game, and just because he spoke his mind a little bit. Anyways, this was the most shocking game of the weekend.
Yes,
I can't believe I stayed up for that.
Yes,
I mean, it was cool, but yeah.
Shocker. Commanders. Woo! Almost said it.
Throwback team name you went there. Throwback.
The Commanders demolished, destroyed the Detroit Lions at Detroit. And yeah, that man right there on the screen, Jaden Daniels. When I say that dude is different, Seeing this man play was a beautiful thing to watch. He's a rookie, but he played as if he's been in the league for like 10 years. That's how amazing he played last weekend. And it's like nothing rattles him. He glides like a freaking deer. He takes 2 strides and he already hit 30 yards. He has accuracy. He's not scared to get hit. He bounces back. I am kind of afraid of his size because he is very slim, but he makes it look good, and he does his thing. I have a whole new fan. I had it before, but the level of respect for this man grew even more after that game I saw last Saturday against Detroit. On the other end, Jared Goff went back to LA Golf, and that was a huge issue for the Detroit Lions. Second, and it's been stated throughout the whole season, and it finally bit them in the butt, and that's injuries on the defense. You lost your favorite player, your best player, in defense, and Aiden Hutchinson, the D-line. Then you losing safeties, you're losing cornerbacks, you're losing this guy here, that guy there. They had 16 guys on injury reserve. So it was bound to happen, and it happened this past Saturday as they got whooped. The defense didn't have no chance to stop the Commanders at all. But I have to give, once again, major props to Jaden Daniels for his performance, and it was amazing. Sadar, you can go ahead.
ladies and gentlemen, I will say it before. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Jaden Daniels is a problem. He is a problem. This guy is something else, man. You would think that it's just you can just pick any quarterback to come in and any first rounder come in and do this if you would have saw Jaden Daniels play. And that is not the case. All the teams that get first round draft picks in hopes of them just winning a couple games, they can't even do it, let alone go to the playoffs, let alone lead your team to the NFC conference championship game. So he's gonna be Lord willing, and if his thin frame can hold up, and with injuries, he's gonna be around for a long time. And he's gonna be on the flip side. Look, the Detroit Lions were just plagued with injuries, and somehow, some way, they overcame them, but they just couldn't hold them any longer with all the injuries. They just couldn't hold up. It's a war of attrition, basically, with all of the injuries. And I'm getting older. There was this argument about one time on this show or the Man Cave or one of the shows about who won the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade. I wonder what people will say now. Just wondering.
Did you say my name, Fred? I didn't hear it.
My bad. Yeah, go ahead, Jobo.
Okay, your lips looked like it said Jobo, but I wasn't
positive. Pondering that question, like.
So I started feeling sick on Saturday, but I got myself to stay awake for this game. Our neighbors came over, and we were in shock. It's funny though, because Brennan goes, I bet this game ends on a golf pick again, and that's what happened. But I don't know. It was a game that I wanted the Lions to win because that's me and Smooth's team. But how could he not like the Commanders right now? With how they've been playing and whatnot. So I'm excited to see them in the next round. Daniels is a stud. Do you guys hear that? My dog sounds like it's possessed. And but no, I'm excited to watch this weekend, and I'll be cheering on the Commanders. And what's the Man Cave chat been looking like with 1, the next game we're going to talk about, and 2, with Craig Black's Commanders?
Well, you know what, Joe? I'm glad you asked, because I asked Craig if he wanted to, maybe do a on the spot live stream after the Commanders won, and this is what he said.
Smooth, man, I'm drunk as hell. Smooth, you want me to come on and talk about my squad? Every other word would be slurred and cussed. Go Commanders!
I love that for him. I do. Because Washington needs a break because the Wizards suck right now. They're horrible. So they need that. I'm glad he was slaughtered. Not slaughtered. Slammed and slurring his language.
I'm gonna give Craig Black a public apology. Yeah, I feel bad. I've been calling them the Commodores and this and that, and hey, they shut people like me up. Can't call. You got to call them by their name now. They are the Commanders. They are in the NFC Championship game. I cannot believe I'm saying that.
It's weird.
Gotta give
weird.
props.
Commanders are commanding y'all attention. They got America's attention now, baby. Okay.
Yeah. What was your thoughts, Bunny, on the game?
It was looking a little sketchy at first, a little too close for comfort to me. And then Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry, did I say his name right? Since y'all roasted me the other day. He's looking good though. I'm happy for him, and I can't believe, like I said, he's a rookie. Like, dude, where are you? Was he under the radar? Like when he got drafted? Like, what's going on to where he's just? I mean, I'm a lost. Stop! Sorry, he made a mess. I'm a loss for words because I didn't see that he's gonna be this good and get him this far as a rookie. You hope to sit out a rookie, but it doesn't happen often. So shout out to them. Good game. And go Commanders.
All right. Up next, Eagles and the Rams. I know if Stan is watching in LA right now, he probably changed the channel or whatever. But this was another good game. This man on the screen, Saquon Barkley. My goodness. If you give him an inch, he's gonna take a mile. That's exactly how he is. And you haven't seen no one this dominant probably since Adrian Peterson. Sadal.
Yeah, I would say that he's the best running back by far in the league right now, and most dominant since Adrian Peterson. Yeah, I would say that.
So snow game, amazing scene. The Rams had the opportunities, but key play was, and once again, this is after a score happened. Okay, key play of the game. The Rams get a safety. That changed the whole game right there. You had all the momentum. And the very next drive, once you get that ball, the very next drive, what's his name? Kyron Williams. I'm sorry about that. Fumbled the ball and gave the ball right back to the Eagles, and they scored a touchdown. That changed the whole game. Now, the Rams had a chance to come back. But then Matt Stafford did what Matt Stafford likes to do at certain times, and that was to lose the ball. Well, maybe it was the O-line. Maybe Stafford should did a better job protecting the ball, but turnover again. So crucial turnovers by the Rams allowed the Eagles to win that game. Then the part that I was frustrated about as well was the very last drive by the Rams where they had a chance to at least score a touchdown. To score a touchdown to possibly win the game or whatever. And fourth down, and Matt Stafford didn't even give Puka a chance to catch the ball. The ball was like 5 yards out of bounds. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? At least give the man an opportunity to at least contest for the ball. But he threw the ball so far out of bounds, it was a better chance for someone in the crowd to catch the ball better than a Rams player. But outside of that, the Eagles did their job. The Rams, they fumbled the opportunity, literally, to advance to the next round. Your thoughts, Sadal?
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. You don't hear a feedback on my end, do you?
No, you're good.
You're good? Okay.
Good.
Yeah. It was just like I said in the video last week. The Rams just had a lot of things they had to do on defense to overcome and get a win. They had to stop Jalen Hurts, which they contained Jalen Hurts. Now, granted, he was hurt there. He got hurt there a little bit there. They contained him. That's one. Two, you had to stop Saquon Barkley. He didn't stop Saquon Barkley. He ran for over 200 yards again. That was one. And then three, you had to have better play from the offense from the Rams. Yes, it was snowing. It was slick. It was slick sledding out there on the field. They did spread the ball around a little bit. They were doing well until those mistakes. It was the critical mistakes that plagued them all year long. Fumbles by Kyron Williams, poor play by the offensive line, and Matthew Stafford with his questionable throws. That's what lost the Rams. That's what lost for the Rams. They just couldn't overcome those those bugaboos that they've been happening all season long, and they just reared their ugly head at the wrong time in the wrong moments.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about there was a play on maybe third or second down where Stafford threw a perfect ball to the sideline to Nakua, and it just went right through his hands. And if he would have caught that ball, just ain't no telling what could have happened during that drive. But instead, they had to kick punt the ball off, and I think maybe after that, Eagles scores touchdown again or whatever. But like you said, it's critical moments that you have to come up and make those plays, and that's what hurt the Rams. And now
you didn't mention, like, on that last play, you mentioned Matthew Stafford's throw. I look at the false start penalty.
Yeah.
And then after the false start penalty, you allowed their defensive end to come back in the game because he was gassed.
Yes, he was.
He was able to jog off, get some air, come back in, and then Bo Limmer misses his block. Being a rookie, and let Matthew Stafford get sacked.
Yeah. It just certain things.
Momentum. They had all the momentum in the world if it wasn't for that false start penalty.
Right. Jobo.
I mean, I'm sorry, Sidol. I'm happy the Rams lost. But it was a good game. I enjoyed this game. It was fun in the snow. Saquon went off. I thought, I hate saying Hurts got hurt. Sounds so funny, but I was worried that he was going to be, who's their backup? I don't even know. But thankfully, he was good to go. I got a little nervous there at the end, though, because the Rams were driving down the field real fast. It was looking a little too good. But thankfully, Eagles held on. And I feel like the Rams have a decent amount of weapons to use offensively. And I was kind of shocked in the 2 playoff games I had that Kupp didn't get a lot of chances. Because that was Stafford's dude when they won the Super Bowl, and now they have more options, and I feel like he barely got the ball. But I don't know, it was a fun game. So, whether you like the Rams or not, that was a fun game, and it was cool watching it in the snow.
Yes,
I have a hot take about Kupp. I think I'll save it for next week.
Oh, okay.
All right, Bunny, your thoughts?
There we go. Shout out to Eagles fly, Hurts. Another quarterback I'm rooting for. And yes, Jovo, it wasn't funny, but it is funny how Hurts got hurt. But my question is, what are they going to do for this game against the Commanders with Jaden Daniels going against?
Stay tuned for that part.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stay tuned. I got to, because whatever they gave to Hurts on the sideline, a normal person can't get done to them going to the ER. Like, they did something, because how you hurt and you bounce. Anyway, overall, that game was still kind of close, y'all. But again, if Hurts wasn't injured and played like his regular self, it still seemed like it'd been kind of close. But again, I want my question answered, so I'm staying tuned. What's gonna happen with Jaden Daniels going against a hurt Jalen Hurts?
All right. So the last game, Buffalo Bills defeated, edged out Bunnies, Baltimore Ravens, and yes, the biggest question of the game was going to be which quarterback was going to set themselves apart and step up and do their thing. That was the biggest question. And some people are saying that Lamar Jackson kind of like gave the doubters, like say by doubters, he held the things down. Me personally, I think he failed because he had moments where they could have did some things, and he threw an interception, lost a fumble. You have to hold yourself accountable. And when he had the opportunity to get this team over the hump, yes, Mark Andrews. Oh my God, I feel bad for this guy.
I wouldn't.
missed that.
Self-inflicted.
Well, see, I'm saying that I feel bad for his safety because.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you for that one. I thought you told me you felt bad because he had a chance. No. NFL play, you must make them catches. Doing too much.
Bad for a guy who's making millions of dollars and your job is to catch the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But my thing is that you had the ball right there in the end zone, and all of Baltimore was like, "Let's go!" Oh no! So now I'm scared of his safety. No, anytime he's in Baltimore. But
talk about the other thing he did too. That other turnover because of him doing too much. Down, did it cause a turnover to fumble?
So it goes back to what I said earlier about missed opportunities and critical moments. Baltimore had opportunities to set themselves up for better success against Buffalo, and they didn't do it. And I do have this clip that I wanted to show y'all. This is after the game with Lamar Jackson.
2 points. I wasn't like, I don't let shit linger, but I just know how these type of games be. That's why I kept saying like, man, I'm mad, bro. I ain't gonna be all right.
I came in, being a teammate and, found a brother. Lamar is, what made this thing go. And he's the reason why we still had a chance. So, tell him the same thing, hold his head high, man.
Hats off to all the guys, man, the players who was all on the journey together, man. Unfortunately, some of the guys won't be here next year.
So it's crazy how he said some of the guys won't be here next year. But same thing with the opportunity for Baltimore to keep on getting to the point where they were this past weekend. It's not guaranteed. And you keep getting these opportunities to get to that next level, and you keep finding ways to not get over that hump. Your thoughts, Sadal, in regards to Lamar Jackson and in the game against the Buffalo Bills?
Well, it was something that I was trying to say, and I couldn't quite articulate it on the chat. Yes, Lamar Jackson, turnover, fumble, and he blames himself. But when years and decades go by and they look at this game, people are not going to remember those necessarily, those turnovers. They're going to remember the drop pass that Mark Andrews made. It's just what it is. It's just like when you go back in the past, you think of the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl. Jackie Smith dropping the ball in the end zone. No one's going to remember that all the mistakes Dallas made in that game. They're going to remember that drop pass in that end zone. Or if you go flash forward back into the 80s and you look at the Browns, the drive part 2, when you had running back, he was going into the end zone, going to win it for the Browns. Biner, that's his name. He fumbled the ball before he crossed the end zone. They're not going to remember all of everything that happened in that game. They're going to remember that fumble. And I'm telling you, that's right or wrong, people are going to remember this game as that's the game that Andrews got that fumble 2-point conversion, or that drop 2-point conversion. That's what people are going to remember. But yes, the Ravens are not going to have that many opportunities, or you don't know. Things can happen from year to year. The bounce of the ball, people, injuries, free agency, things happen. So it's not guaranteed that you can get those moments back. I think of when I think of Lamar Jackson, I think of John Elway in the 80s, against those teams, against those Brown teams, the drive, and the drive part 2. He got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants and lost to the Washington team that was named another name. And then he got blown out by the 49ers. And he didn't make the Super Bowl until 7 years later. And he finally won. But for a while there, people were kind of questioning, hey, is he going to get another chance at this? I don't know. So it's not guaranteed.
Right.
So, man, it sucks for Lamar Jackson. I don't know.
All right, go.
First off, where was Derrick Henry in that fourth quarter?
Good question.
Not just for my underdog betting purposes. By the way, I was only 5 yards off of winning some more money. But where was he? Like, I feel like you barely saw him. Just like I said, with Kupp not getting many attempts, from Stafford, Derrick Henry wasn't even on the field.
So he also had.
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry about that. He also had a critical mistake as well, because Lamar Jackson threw the ball to him and he was wide open. He would have caught the ball in the first half. That probably could have been a touchdown, and he dropped the ball.
Yeah,
but even with that,
and that is probably one of the reasons why he wasn't playing in the fourth quarter, as you just asked, Joe, because they don't trust Derrick Henry in regards to pass plays. They trust him on just running plays. And when they were down by a certain amount and late in the game, their mindset was, let's try to pass the ball and try to score quick.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, who might take a little bit to get going, even though he usually is known for being better in the second half because teams are tired and he can just run all over them. But they don't trust him in pass plays.
But what about, okay, they don't trust him in pass plays, but remember how third quarter he came out, he did his thing. That's the Patrick Henry we know, right? I mean, I said Patrick. There I go.
Oh, no.
Patrick Henry.
What's so serious about this?
I can't win, y'all. I can't win for losing. But that's the Henry we know in the third quarter. So it's like, all right, they got the clock going against them, but you still had at least an opportunity to start the fourth quarter with trying to still run the ball before they're gonna pull the hope of him, trying to catch a pass ball. So I get what you're saying, but it still don't make sense. You turn him on the third quarter, he do his thing, get him a touchdown. Repeat. You didn't even try repeating in the fourth quarter. That's my issue. Again, you're saying they got no faith in him for a pass or throwing the ball. Okay. But you still had you didn't have to work against the clock right away in the fourth quarter. That's my point. So I think you should at least try a few more drives before you shut him down. And that's where I was like, well, damn, we saw what he did. Why not continue? It's all about adjustments in each half. I don't know why they weren't, using him a little bit more. He only had 8, 10, it was single digit rushing yards in the first half. Well, kind of exaggerate, but it was small compared to what he usually does. Third quarter, that's the Henry we know. Fourth quarter, nothing. That to me could have made a big difference. Now they may know something I ain't know on the sideline or from the booth, but I will at least try them on the first drive before we're gonna shut them down. Just keep passing. But what do I know?
In my opinion on that, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
In my opinion on Derrick Henry, I think he is a good closer when you are up in the fourth quarter and you need to put the game away. When you're down, when you're trailing, the clock becomes more of an enemy. And his style of running, it's really lumbering and it takes a lot of time. And in those critical moments of the game, when you are down, he is not as effective because he's not as effective in the passing game where you can catch the ball, get out of bounds really quickly. And I think that's why you didn't see him a lot in the fourth quarter because the Ravens were down.
Yep, there it is. So here we go. Now the fun begins, y'all. Bunny, you had a question, and we're going to talk about it. The first game on Sunday, 2:00 Central Standard Time on Fox. And no, we ain't getting paid for it, but we should with the advertisement. But Commanders at Philadelphia at this time. I don't know if it's going to be any more snow, but this should be once again a great game. The third time that these teams have met in the season, and it's all about going to New Orleans. I'll go ahead and start off first. I'm going to ride that wave of the Commanders and choose them because, as I brought up earlier, Jaden Daniels, that dude is just different. And I respect quarterbacks that just has a different way about them and how they perform on the field. And he doesn't get rattled. And that's the kind of person you need to go all the way. And the way he's been doing it, I'm going to go ahead and jump on the Career Blacks bandwagon for this week and choose the Commanders. Sadal.
I said it again. I said it before. I say it again, man. Jaden Daniels is a problem that the Eagles will solve. The Eagles defense will find a way
I just on that one.
Stop Jaden Daniels.
There you go.
I predict the Eagles winning.
Okay. Joe Bo.
For whatever reason, I want to pick the team that I think has the best chance against the Chiefs. But they're both here at the championship game, so obviously they both have a chance. But I'm gonna go with what Jamie says. Commanders. They seem to be, I don't know, riding some hot streak, and I think the last team the Eagles lost to was the Commanders. So I'm just gonna stick with it.
You up, Bunny?
I'm gonna fly, Eagles fly. I'm gonna take experience over riding the bandwagon. I believe Hurts. He's been here before as well. It's gonna be a good game, hopefully, but I can see Hurts leading his team with experience and being cool under pressure. He's being, he's gonna play hurt, y'all. So no pun intended. And that's my only thing. My concern is how far can he go without got to get pulled out or miss a few plays or not finish the game. But with a big stage and a crucial game, he's gonna play hurt. But will he be 50% playing hurt? Will he be 75%? So I'll still take a gamble on him, see what he can do. Him and the whole offensive line protecting him, they can pull it off, I believe.
And game number 2 goes down on CBS and Paramount Plus. No, we're not getting paid, but we should. Go at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have the Buffalo Bills versus the Chiefs. Will this be the year that Josh Allen finally gets over that hump? Finally can do something that Karl Malone and John Stockton cannot do when it came to Michael Jordan. And that's finally defeat the adversary. Can the Bills do it? And I always say this, Adol, as long as that man is wearing 1-5 and he's on the field, I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't catch that last part.
I got the Chiefs.
Got the Chiefs. But you know what? I'd be a fool to pick against Patrick Mahomes. Well, call me Boo Boo the Fool. I'm going for the Buffalo Bills.
Woo!
I don't have a football reason that I'm picking the Bills. It's a gut feeling because I just feel that Josh Allen and them boys has a vendetta. They got a big ass chip on their shoulders that they need to knock off. They've been hearing it all year. Years past. Can you beat the Chiefs? Can you beat the Chiefs? Can you beat the Chiefs? I say that they're going to pick the absolute out of the doggone chip.
Ooh.
And they going to win.
Dobo.
I don't have something as motivational as it all just said, but just the Bills. It's who I want, and that's the reason why I'm going with them. Okay, I love Josh Allen, and I want the Bills, so I'm picking the Bills.
And last, but definitely not least, holding things down in the kitchen, Bunny.
So, should I be a dog or be like Smooth? It's a dog, be like Smooth. Against Mahomes is not always a bad thing because Mahomes did lose the Super Bowl before, you all don't forget. So he is beatable. But I'll go with the Bills. Now, Jamie saying KC all day, but I told y'all my thing. Once the Rams left St. Louis, F the Rams, but I'm not hopping on to the other side of the state's bandwagon either because, you know, St. Louis, KC, two different cities, two different cultures. We don't generally root on each other's teams like that. Sorry. So, Bills, let's do this.
I agree. That was that whole thing. Somebody asked me, "Also, you gonna be a Chiefs fan now since the Rams moved?" No, it's Kansas City. But I'm not a Kansas City hater. I actually like Patrick Mahomes. He's my favorite.
Like I said, I'm not a Mahomes hater. He's good what he does. He got championships. I'm not gonna.
I especially liked him last season what he did in the Super Bowl. But
okay.
I'm not gonna bring that up no more. I'm not gonna bring that up no more.
I think a lot of reason why there's teams out there that I don't like is because of the people that cheer for them or just a lot of bandwagon. And that's why I don't like the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
There's a lot of bandwagon fans, though, from the St. Louis area specifically. Yes.
It's not even just in Missouri. It's all over, and they got the whole damn league doing it, too. So that's why I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not going to like a team just because other people like them.
So another reason why I cannot pick the Eagles to win is this.
Let me hear you all say ELGLES, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Whoa. You don't tell me Sasha can spell Eagles better than a whole adult? And this girl is only 6 and she can spell Eagles and a whole adult can't spell it? What?
That was the mayor of Philadelphia.
I knew it couldn't be the mayor. No, I don't believe it. That was the AI mayor. That was an AI-driven mayor. That was not the mayor of Philly. And here goes the dog talking about letters. Oh gosh.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But I don't think that's how you spell Eagles, man.
And you
I'm
can't
be honest.
Nerves. She speaks in front of people all the time, so it's not nerves. What the hell was her problem?
Yeah, so I was whenever they you showed the Rams and the Eagles score, I was going to do their little. I'm not even gonna do it now because I'm scared of embarrassing myself. I know how to spell Eagles, but whenever you put me on the spot and I'm trying to do something, I know I'm gonna mess up. But she's a public person, speaker. Yeah. How do you see the security guards behind her? They're like, what do we do? What do we do?
Let me hear you all say ELGLES, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Oh my gosh.
He's like, what?
Oh, shoot, she messed up.
Man, that's the wrong sound bite you want to be a part of.
You ain't looking. I got my bruh buddy.
Oh my God. And then now,
say, sis, what are you doing?
Now, in regards to going back to college football, Ryan Day, he's feeling great. Ohio State, they won the Natty. So now they want to head back to, the press room to get.
I know you're gonna show this. Oh my God.
And then this happened.
Ryan Day, you deserve it, brother. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody okay? Everybody okay? Good.
Everyone good?
You deserve it, brother. You fucking deserve this.
Oh,
Not a good week for females in sports, or just females, I guess, in general. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I seen that and I was like, I knew you were gonna show that tonight. I knew it. I was surprised you didn't do it earlier.
You had to cut the wheel to the left little bit.
You should not need a whole license to drive a go-kart.
Gotta crank it and go back and then crank.
You got
it, you know.
Cut it over to the.
Oh my lord! And she was laughing about it too.
I mean,
he wasn't.
I'm gonna laugh about it if I did that because, like, we're okay, we got this. You know, like.
Don't embarrass. I think you got a paint slip the next day, guys.
Oh yeah, she probably doesn't have a job anymore, but the players thought it was funny, so they were all right.
I was the boss. I'm like, yeah, give me the keys to the cart.
You can turn your badge into while you're at it.
Coming out of your paycheck.
Yeah, we ain't gonna let you drive the cart.
Brutal.
All right, so we're about to go ahead and before I end the show, there's one more thing, and since I got you on still, Bunny, I want to bring it up because I want to get your opinion. There is a new league for the women, and it's called the Unrivaled League. And here are the rules. First 3 quarters are 7 minutes, while the fourth quarter is untimed. You know how like the very first year where they had the whole Kobe rule in the All-Star game?
Mm-hmm.
So teams would end the game by playing to a target score in the fourth quarter, which is the winning score, which is determined by adding 11 points to the leading team's total score after the third quarter. As a result, there would be no overtimes. Now, what is cool to me, well, there's multiple things, but it's 6 teams. They play 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, 2 games on Monday. And they only have 1 central hub, and that's in Miami. But what is cool to me, unlike the big 3, is that they do play full court, but it's not NBA or WNBA regulation size. The court is like maybe 70 feet. So it's much shorter. So when it's 3-on-3, the players don't have to run as far going back and down the court, except for how on the big 3, they just have half court basketball. I thought that was very creative. Also, this was started up by Brianna Stewart and Naphesia Collier from the Lou. And it's on TNT, and they already have been getting a lot of praise in regards to the games. But also what set this off differently from the big 3 is that you have current WNBA players playing this game. We all know in the past, well, definitely prior to this past offseason, that as soon as the WNBA season was over, it's even going on still now, but not as much. But as soon as the season's over with, players are going overseas because they're still trying to get a check so they can have enough money, for their families, for themselves, the whole 9. But with this Unrivaled League, every player that is playing, that signed up gets equity. So they're making money even outside of just playing the game. So it's allowing these players to be able to stay in the States and make money. And you also have some of the top players in the game that's actually playing too. The only top 2 players I can think of off the top of my head who's not playing at this time is Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark. Well, maybe that might change for Caitlin Clark next year. She might do it, because she's wanted to kind of pretty much rest from what she went through in college to playing in the WNBA. She wanted to take a break. But maybe next year you might see her playing. But the Unrivaled League just started, and it's been rave reviews. and it could be something that could be a mainstay for years down the line. And it's a way for women to get even more notoriety and get that money as well. And lastly, they're having an all-star game down the road. But one of the main highlights of the all-star game is that they're going to have a one-on-one competition. It's going to be a whole tournament to determine who pretty much the queen of the hill, who's going to be the champion in one-on-one. That's like part of the all-star game festivities. So they're being innovative. I'm liking it, and I think it's going to really attract some people. Your thoughts, Bunny?
Great. Checking all the boxes. Seriously. I think from what I read about the feedback that is, like you said, the reviews, that is quote unquote like a player owned thing where you get the equity. That's really, really important. Because what that also sets apart is how you right now have ownership, and then you got the players, and then there's a disconnect, especially when they talk about contracts renewing and how they think ownership don't care about play. That helps bring that way down with the players actually having some ownership stake or at least some equity in the league, but also helps market in public. Like if you see the players promoting it, that also helps you be intrigued, especially they're big and, drawing more fans now. The WNBA players are, but the top tier one that you're saying, like Angel Reese is in it, like that's big. So if she bought into it, then that's telling you, okay, this is about to be something serious. And again, it helps them, like you stated, stateside, so they have to go overseas to earn extra money. I mean, again, all the players aren't in it yet, but it is good. And I bet you there's going to be some rules or something out of the league or how they have their rules where the NBA or WNBA is going to take, just like how the XFL did kick off, then NFL took that idea. So I could see one of these professional basketball leagues taking stuff from Unrivaled and put it in their league. But I'm happy for the women. I hope it keeps growing. And this momentum will definitely help build up into getting ready for the WNBA season in May.
Joe Bo.
Anything to help get help the ladies get paid and get their names out there. And I think it's cool that one of St. Louis's own was, one of the ones that helped get this out there. But I don't know. Basketball, I feel like basketball, they're like NBA and WNBA, they're always trying to do different things like this, to get people interested. So, people will pay attention.
And last but definitely not least, Sadal.
I think this is a perfect example why the women's game is quickly becoming the more popular basketball right now because of these innovative ideas, these things that enhance the game, and despite if it's a women's game or a men's game, these things enhance the game of basketball. And the women are taking charge and taking ownership of this. I love to see it. And hopefully the NBA can take some notes here and do something with their whack system of All-Star Weekend and do something that can spice up and do something that's a little bit different, because what they're doing right now is it's not working. So kudos to the women. And this is my first time hearing about it, and I'm going to check it out. Is it, has the season already started?
Yeah, it just started this past weekend.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out because sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. So once again, it's on Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays. 2 games each, 6 total teams. So there we go. And that is our show. So shout out to Bunny. She had to go ahead and leave. But Joe Bo, thank you very much. See you in a couple of weeks for Ladies Night. Sadal, see you and the fellas on the Man Cave. Appreciate y'all. And for everyone else, your boy Smooth. It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Make sure you give us a follow everywhere on them social medias, as Sadal will say. Give us a follow on Facebook, the Platform Sports Talk Show, at the X, formerly known as Twitter, at 314 Sports Talk, on IG at Platform Sports Talk, and go on YouTube, subscribe, and click on that bell, because anytime we go live, Sadal,
notified.
There we go. You will be notified. And of course, shoot us an email at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. Y'all know someone that will be, once again, incredible guests on the show, get their stories told, or y'all want us to come out to y'all sporting event. We can make that happen. Once again, shoot us the email, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. We also on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. Go to the app, iOS or Android. Go to the Play Store, put in Hot 365 Radio. You can also catch the replay every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. They also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Hot 365 Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. Every last Wednesday, of course. Next week, it is the Man Cave. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show Network. We're doing big things. Y'all stay warm, stay safe, stay prayed up, and keep on enjoying the sports, y'all. Your boy Smooth, we got this thing.